Hey everyone, Flack88 back here for Operation First Blood. This is U.S. Pacific Command 9.2. Alright, some good soundtrack in the background. Let's get right into technology. I'm going to go for 2 dice on a strategic missile, SDI, Strategic Defense Initiative. That's a 10 or higher. In the white, 12 plus 1. For 13, I'm going to do advanced manufacturing. And then lastly, advanced airborne doctrine with a 14. That's the red, the 12 plus 2. So, all right, let's do this up quick. Wow, looks like we hit SDI twice, but only counts once. So we will... we're gonna move to stage 3 SDI. That's right, turning up the heat on the Soviets. All right, and then looks like we missed advanced manufacturing, but we'll go to stage 2, advanced airborne. Very good. All right, so let's go into our buy. We don't have a ton of money still due to our negative income modifiers for oil in Tokyo and Singapore. So we're going to go ahead and start off with repairing 1 damage to the minor airbase in Queensland here. So we'll take that off so we can use that airbase this turn. Get rid of that. And then we're going to collect our 2 cruise missiles and our 2 ASMs from our major airbase for the cruise missiles, and ASMs from our major shipyards. We have 2 each. For 7, we're going to build a diesel electric and a AAA. And for 10, we're going to build a nuclear attack sub and a diesel electric sub. Very good. All right. I have no strategic nukes yet. We do not have counterforce or value release yet. So let's get into our regular attacks. Let me zoom out here. So now, using our B-1 bomber that is in Queensland with our newly repaired minor airbase, we're going to take this guy. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're, that's the wrong spot. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to shoot a AGM-86B. And that is going to conduct a nuclear surgical strike on the lovely Soviet units there in East Malaysia. So I'm going to use my spy satellite there to gain target select. And that will be 3 dice at 5 or less. All right, so that's our first attack. Next up, from the same spot there in Queensland, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to P46. We're going to launch 2 cruise missiles from this strategic bomber. They're going to go 1, 2. Let me zoom in here. And because we have theater nuclear release, these cruise missiles will be making nuclear facility strikes on the minor army and minor shipyards. So each of those facilities will get 1 AMD dice each. All right, and let's do the big one. I might have to move for this one. All right. So we are attacking the Soviet fleet that is in P45. It's on this card here. But let me go ahead and move all the stuff on the board, and then I'll go ahead and put that on the battle board. So from P66 down here, we have a nuclear attack sub. that nuclear attack sub can make it to P45. 1 to P62, 3 to P63, 1 to P62, 2 to P53, 3 to P54, and 4 to P45. And that's coming off a shipyard, so we do get that +1. All right, from Jakarta, we're going to take the attack bombers, going to fly 1, 2. Both fighters flying 1, 2. And I do have PGMs, so my fighters are eligible to attack ships. All right, and from, what sea zone is this? P69, we're going to take these 2 subs, a diesel electric and a nuclear attack. They're going to go 1 to P68, 2 to P64, 3 to P56, excuse me, and 4 up to P54, where that nuclear attack sub will launch 2 ASMs, a distance of 1 into P45. And those ASMs do get first strike. And lastly, from P47, the massive, tiny U.S. naval fleet here of 4 nuclear attack subs, 3 diesel electric subs, and a destroyer will be joining that battle in P45. All right. So we can zoom in here. My air superiority fighter out of Taiwan will join. 1, 2. And Captain G opted to scramble his fighter from the Philippines in there as well. So that is 1. All right. I'm going to go ahead and resolve these other smaller battles first, and then I'll pull the dice tray over and do that over by the battle board here. So, all right. Let's go ahead and start with these facility strikes. I'm going to grab a D6. Alright, so I'm going to roll AMD and the attack die at the same time to speed this up. If the AMD hits, then the attack die is void. So let's go ahead and start here in Philippines. I'll start on the minor army base. So here we go, we have a nuclear cruise missile, and that is a D6. And that AMD shot missed, and we got max damage at 6. Very good. And so I don't get off track, I'll go ahead and put that damage down. Like so. Okay. My music got quiet on me. That's all right. Let's go ahead and do the next facility strike here. This is on the minor shipyard. Same dice. And again, the AMD missed, and we got 1 damage. I hoped for a little bit more than that. But that's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do this nuclear surgical strike with that AGM-86B down here in East Malay. All right, so we have no AMD shots here, and let's just go ahead and roll it. We're gonna use some red, white, and blue dice here. We need 5 or less, and we got 1 hit. 1 hit, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and target the air cav. We had 3 eligible targets, and we only hit 1, so that's all right. It is the will of the dice. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna relocate this here. Hopefully this isn't too chaotic. All right. I'm going to set this up as I go here. All right, so defending. Defender is on the bottom. We have 3 fighters that are off camera. There we go. Get my stuff out of the way. 3 fighters that will be air superiority first round. Heavy aircraft cruiser on a 5. If amphibious assault ship on 1. We have 1 cruiser will be doing missile defense. So I'm going to put that separate. 2 cruisers will be rolling regular defense. 2 frigates will be rolling missile defense. 2 destroyers at 4. 2 diesel electrics at 3. And a nuclear attack at 4. All right, for the attacker, we've got an attack bomber at 7. We've got 2 fighters that will do air superiority first round. We have an air superiority fighter that will be air superiority all rounds. We've got a destroyer at 4. We've got 2 ASMs. First strike at 5 or less. We've got 3 diesel electrics at 3. We have 5 nuclear attack subs at 4. And that is it. So let's go ahead and assign some dice here. I'm going to try to speed this up. I'll start off with my first strike, of course. And then I will go down the chute here. Okay. All right, thanks for bearing with me, everyone. So we've got to do AMD first. So we've got three shots for AMD at 4 or less, so here we go. And looks like we got 1 hit. Okay, so I'm gonna roll my 1 ASM at a 5 or less, and that is a miss with an 11, so that is a bummer. That's okay, so we'll take our ASMs off. And we will count up a dice. So we got an orange, a gray, a bunch of green, 5 greens, 3 blues, and a couple extra here. Okay. All right, so I'll roll the attacker first, and I'll assign some dice for the defender. Here we go. Okay. All right, so let's start with fighters. Fighters are in the red ink, and we missed with a 9 and a 12. So pull those out. The air superiority fighter is black, and that's a 9. That is a miss. So we have no air superiority hits. All right, so the orange is a hit. It's a regular hit. That is the attack bomber right here. So I'm going to mark 1 regular hit. In green, those are my nuclear attack subs. Looks like I got 2 target selects. A nuclear attack subs target select 2 or less. And then I got 2 regular hits. Wow, that's really good. So I'm going to mark 2 on the surface target select and 2 more on the regular. Okay, I'll take the greens out. All right, so blue are the diesel electrics, and we got 3 hits, and they do not have any target selects. So that's 3 more regular hits. Brings us to 6. And then that destroyer missed with a 10. So, okay. All right, let me assign some dice here. So this cruiser and these missile or frigates are out for this round. All right, so we've got 2 cruisers, heavy aircraft cruiser in blue. Okay, 2 destroyers, we'll do those in gray. Let's do nuclear attack sub in black. And then diesel electrics in red ink. And then that lonely amphibious assault ship is in white. We'll do the fighters in orange. And those are 6 or less. And we need those to roll how they do, I suppose. Okay. Make sure I got this right. 2 green, 2 black. Okay, so here we go. All right, so we'll start with the fighters again. There's 1 hit with a fighter, so that's air superiority hit. I will mark air superiority hits, take out the orange. All right, so the amphibious assault ship missed. The diesel electrics missed. The nuclear attack sub got a hit. That's a regular hit. 3. Looks like both destroyers missed with the 7 and an 11. Heavy aircraft cruiser missed with the 7. And both cruisers missed with a 9 and a 10. Oofta. All right. Let me pull up my CAS order here. All right, so I'll take Defender CAS first. So first hit. That's 1. We got 6 hits. So it's 1 out of 6. Captain G gives me all these Navy terms, so I've got to decipher the Navy terms into the Global War 85 terms, so bear with me here. Next hits are on diesel electric, so 1, 2, 3. And then frigates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next hit is on a destroyer. Okay, and then I've got 2 target selects, and I am going to use those on these 2 cruisers. Yes. I think first, actually, I'm going to use 1 on a cruiser, and I'm going to use 1 on a heavy aircraft cruiser. Like that. Okay. And then, those are Defender's casualties. We'll take my casualties. I'll take a fighter as an air superiority hit and a diesel electric as a regular hit. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep these dice the same. Let's go to round 2. Round 1 went okay for me, so got to change some things up here. All right, so these fighters are no longer air superiority, but they do have targets since I do have aircraft, so we'll move those up. And then my fighter will also move up to a 6 regular, and that will be the same. That is that. That is done. Okay. All right, so we've got an orange, red ink, whole bunch of greens, 1 gray and 2 blue, 1 black. All right, here's the attackers round 2. Here we go. Okay, so we'll start on the top. The attack bomber missed. The fighter missed with the 7. In green, wow, we got 4 hits. 3, 3, 3, 3, 5. So we've got 4 regular hits. We'll take the greens out. Blues, we got a 2 and a 4, so that's 1 hit. We'll go to 5 regular hits. Take the blue out, and then the gray and the black both miss. So we missed Air Superiority and the Destroyer again. Okay. So let's go for the Defender here. We've got 2 cruisers in green, 3 fighters in orange, Destroyer in gray, nuclear attack in black, and an amphibious assault in white. So here we go. Okay. Oofda. All right, so starting in orange, we got a 5 and a 6. Which those are hits by fighters, so I believe I need to take aircraft. So I will go ahead and take fighter and my Air Superiority fighter. So those are the orange. That hurt a little bit. Amphibious assault ship missed. Nuclear attack boat missed. 1 cruiser hit. And the Destroyer missed. So we got 1 regular hit as well. Okay, so I will take Diesel as a regular hit. And that takes care of my casualties. All right, pull up Anthony's, Captain G's casualty list here. So next up we've got 5 hits. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is where we are. This is an interesting predicament here. I think with that, we will... So we cannot continue. If we continue, those fighters can still attack my attack bomber. If we retreat, you can't retreat just 1 unit, you have to treat all your units. So since that heavy aircraft cruiser is now gone, we're going to go ahead and retreat, in parentheses. So we will move all of our ships back to P54, which works okay in my favor here. This was pretty costly to both sides. And then we'll leave that there for non-combat. And then these 3 fighters, which I still can't believe those fighters are... That's that. They will more than likely go to Philippines. So, Captain G, let me know if I goofed up the casualty order. That was the list that I was given. But that is how we will play it, unless you decide otherwise. Okay, so that is that battle, and we will move into non-combat. All right, so we will non-com this attack bomber back to Jakarta. We will non-combat my B1 back to Queensland. Strategic bomber that fell off the stand back to Queensland, and those have plenty of movement. I won't count those out for you guys. Okay, take these off here. All right, just looking around here, make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, so let's do an air lift. We're gonna take one of these airborne and drop him in Queensland. Off camera. That was from Jakarta, excuse me. So from Jakarta to Queensland, one airborne. From Guam to Jakarta, one light infantry. And that is a minor, so we can only send one. I'm going to yes. Okay. All right. Sorry, thinking out loud and I'm pausing the video here. My apologies. All right. So these airfields have sending and receiving limits. So a minor airbase, excuse me, can send and receive one. So you have to take that into account when you're doing your planning. So, all right. I believe that is all I have for non-combat. I really don't have a lot of things to move, to be honest with you. All right, so let's go ahead and place our units. I already took my cruise missiles off my board, so I'm gonna place 2 cruise missiles back, which gives me 9. 2 anti-ship missiles, which gives me 2. We're gonna place the, well, I can't skip the ads yet. We're gonna place the AAA up here in Alaska. We're going to place a diesel electric and a nuclear attack boat in P25. And the diesel electric in P66. So let me grab a handy dandy US flag for P25. Got them pesky Soviet subs up there lurking. All right. Wow. Okay. Let's do a quick disposition. This video is already almost half an hour long. In P54, we have 6 nuclear attack subs, 2 diesel electric subs, and a destroyer. Yep. In Jakarta, we have 2 light infantry, an attack bomber, paramilitary, and an airborne. In Queensland, we have a strategic bomber. I'm going to zoom in here. A B1. 2 light infantry, a marine, and an airborne. Guam, we got a AAA, a marine, and an air cav. And in Alaska, we have, it's blurry, light infantry and a AAA. In P25, we've got a nuclear attack sub and a diesel electric. All right, let's go ahead and collect some income. I usually miss that part. It's the most important part. Goodness, apologies. All right, so our base income did not change. We are at 22, but we are at -8. So that brings us to a whopping 16. And we'll go ahead and roll our global support here. Okay. All right. 7, so that is $4. Go ahead and add 4. Let's make sure I didn't goof this up. You know what? I think we are 2 less. You know what? Math is hard, everyone. So that is $18. So 22 minus 8 plus 4. All right. So really that's 22 minus 4. Okay. All right. That is all I have, everyone. We'll kick this off to Knights Templar for China, and we'll see what he's got in store. Take care, everyone. Hi, everyone. Flack88 back here with Operation First Blood. This is 9.2, end of turn correction. So in this battle here in P45, I did make a mistake in what I said for taking hits against my aircraft. So what happened is Captain G's 3 fighters, but 2 of them hit, and I mistakenly said that they had to be taken against my aircraft, which is incorrect because it is regular combat. So those fighters can actually hit submarines that I was attacking with. Had it been the other way around, my submarines could not hit his aircraft, but his aircraft can hit my submarines. So all the players decided that it was logical for me to go ahead and take submarines instead of aircraft in that case. I opted to kind of split the difference. What I'm going to do is trade one of the surviving diesel electrics for one of the taken fighter casualties. So I'll take that diesel off. I'm going to put the fighter back, and that would have non-combated into Jakarta. And another mistake I made, just in the fog of war, I went ahead and placed a AAA in Alaska, and I do not have an army base there. So what I'm going to do is, in lieu of placing that AAA in Alaska, I'm going to, instead of airlifting, this light infantry from Guam, it's going to go to Alaska, and I'm just going to trade that AAA and put that here at that minor army base. All right, that goes ahead and wraps that up. Some of you may be wondering, now, why didn't you collect a battle star for destroying that fleet in P45? Well, a couple things. Since I retreated, that does not count as a successful battle star, as well as Captain G had some surviving units, and that does count in that task force as defined in that battle star. So no battle star achieved. I did destroy the Navy, which was cool, but didn't achieve that. So all right, I will kick this over to Knights Templar for 9.3. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.